Hello everybody and welcome back to Besiege. Now when I woke up this morning they've released an update called Minor Update 4. So the game version as of now is 0.04. I don't know if that makes any difference, but that's the version anyway. I'm just gonna cover a bit of the changes and updates and new blocks and such. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. First off, we have this thing called the key mapping. Now before this update you weren't able to see what keys were assigned to what without, using the key mapper and editing them. I think that helps a lot when you're playing other user created levels, so you don't have to manually check everything to see how it's working. The cogs have less friction than before. I don't know if that changes anything, but they work maybe a bit smoother. I'm not sure. Now that one right here is a powered cog, the rest one are just normal. Moving on to the next thing, the propeller blades. Goddamn sheep, shut up. The propeller blades, they are remodeled and retextured, and they can now also be flipped. So that means the propeller can either push or pull. Moving on, the elasticity. Hold on, the contractible springs. They've added a new setting to these springs, and that is the toggle mode. Now that means when you press the button, it contracts and it stays contracted. And I think that's really good, because before this update was added you had to hold the button down, and the last two here in the demonstration have the toggle mode enabled. I don't know if this has been added, but the elasticity beyond limits can be pushed to 10. I think it was maximum 4. Now I've slowed down the video so you can see what happens a bit better. Now when I press 5, I tap it once, nothing happens. There we go. So they sort of, jiggle around a bit. That's very slow because it hasn't, the max speed available. And when I press 6, it's a bit faster, but still. Now, 7 and 8 has the toggle mode on. So when I press them, they go all the way to the finish. Like so. The next thing is sliders. Now, I really don't know what they are supposed to be used for, but they act according to gravity, I think, and they extend to whatever direction the gravity is pulling them. So that's nice. And this is the thing I was really excited for, the balloons. Now, before the balloons we had the hold on, I need to check the name. We had the flying block, which you had to, you had to hold O or the button assigned to it to make it fly. But the balloons are always lifting up, and they can be adjusted to have different kinds of buoyancies. And for this example, I have the first one is 0.30, 0.70, 1.20 and 1.50. So when I press 1, it barely lifts. 2, kinda jiggles about a bit. 3, almost goes up in the air. And the 4 one just flies up. So that's nice. What they've also added... Oh, I need to stop the balloon. Hold on. The camera is shifting. So yeah, what they've also added are these... oh man, I forgot the name. Wooden poles, yeah, that's it, wooden poles. And they have nothing, they don't do anything, they just stand around. But they look really nice, and you can do all kinds of shit with them. Now, the Flamethrower has hold to fire option, which means you have to hold the button to fire. And when you release the button, it stops firing. So you can use the button like this, you just tap it to fire. Now, before this was added, you had to press it once to fire and press it once again to stop the firing. Some changes that they've also made is that the boulder right here, when it collides with a villager or an enemy that you're supposed to kill or destroy, it gets blood on it. And the same thing happens with the plow. Now that wasn't added before this, and I think that's very good. Ooh, and the thing I completely forgot, they've added a copy and paste option as well. So when, for example, if I want these settings on the next spring, I can just copy it from here, like so. I just press it. It doesn't give any feedback to you when you pressed it, but you press it, exit, and go into the next one and press paste. So now these ones have exactly the same. Wow, that's so intense. So yeah, that's everything I had to say. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, just go ahead and tap that like button just real gently so it doesn't get hurt, and I'll see you all next time.